Hey guys, how you going? This is Billy Eat World, and today we're going to be taking a look at the SR338 semi-automatic sniper rifle post the recent fall patch. Now, previous to this patch, this rifle was a fairly unpopular weapon because it was basically a long-range DMR and it had a few fatal flaws. In the recent patch, they've given it a workover into a seriously beastly sniper rifle, buffing a number of different stats, but leaving pretty much everything else alone. So what have they changed, and why is the SR338 worth using now? Well, the SR338 still fires at a fairly slow 150 RPM and deals 50 damage out to 15 meters, which drops off to 38 damage at 150 meters. This translates into a minimum of a 2-shot kill and a maximum of a 3-shot kill, with a chance of a 1-shot kill assuming you can land a headshot under 15 meters. Now, a DMR can also kill in 3 shots, but the longer damage drop-off and higher minimum damage of the SR338 gives it an advantage when taking out targets that have already taken some damage. Taking on a damaged opponent isn't a guaranteed 2-shot kill, but it happens more than you might think. And even if you don't land a kill shot, you still stand a much better chance of getting an assist counts as kill with the SR338. Previously, the increased damage didn't seem like much of a bonus to most players though, because the spread increase per shot of this gun would make it hard to hit anything if you pulled the trigger too quickly. I actually made a video a while ago on how to fire this gun properly, and assuming that you could pace your shots out slowly, it actually wasn't a bad gun. The problem was that hardly anyone put in the time to learn how to use this gun properly, and along with the big YouTubers like Levelcap and Matimio, most people wrote it off as a terrible gun. Now, the SR338 always had a base accuracy of 0, but it also had a spread increase of 0.6, which is why it was so inaccurate when spamming the trigger. In the recent patch, DICE have reduced the spread increase to only 0.1, which now makes it far more accurate than even any of the DMRs, even if it doesn't fire quite as fast. This accuracy is seriously going to improve your ability to kill targets at all ranges, because now you don't really need to worry about how fast you pull the trigger. I probably still would recommend pacing your shots out if you're going for extreme range targets, but at least at close to mid-range, you now should be fine to spam this weapon a bit faster, which is after all where it really counts. Now, the other big change to the SR338 has been the buff to its muzzle velocity. The SR338 now has a very fast muzzle velocity of 600 meters per second, up from 500 meters per second, which is more than enough to take out long range or moving targets. This rifle was already a decent counter-sniping weapon, but I find that now you don't have to worry about bullet drop as much, it's probably even better. Also, along with its ability to fire quick follow-up shots, the SR338 is probably even better than a bolt action for taking out moving targets, which was one of its weak points before the patch. I think either one of these changes would have made this gun a much more effective sniper rifle, but the fact that DICE have decided to change both means that the SR338 is now one of the best sniping weapons in the game, depending on your playstyle of course. Now, obviously stats aren't the only thing that makes this gun better though. As you probably know, many of the core mechanics of Battlefield 4 have changed in the recent patch to the benefit of long-range weapons. I covered a lot of this in my recent DMR changes video, so if you'd like to head over and check that one out, then click the link on screen or in the description and then you'll know what I'm talking about. To quickly summarise the things that affect the SR338 though, well, basically DICE has reduced the effects of visual recoil and suppression, and they've also improved netcode and reduced the damage of most of the automatic weapons. These changes don't directly make the SR338 a better gun, but they have made it easier to see what you're shooting at, and they've given the longer range weapons a little bit more of a chance against automatics in close quarters. There's still going to be times when suppression throws off your shot, and there's still going to be guys with AKs that outgun you, but the whole point of these changes wasn't to make DMRs and sniper rifles OP, it was to give long-range weapons a fighting chance in close quarters. But just to quickly finish up on that point, is the SR338 now an OP weapon? Well, I know a lot of people who play the CQB game will probably dislike the changes to the DMRs and bolt actions, but seriously, if the semi-autos are OP now, then what were the assault rifles before? The ARs and carbines especially are still very good all-round weapons, and they still beat out an average player with a semi-auto 9 times out of 10. Semi-autos take skill to use and require very careful positioning, so while I would say that one of these weapons can be really deadly in the right hands, for most players an AR or carbine would be a better choice. Until now, all of the long-range weapons have been pretty underwhelming, and that shouldn't be the case in a AAA shooter like Battlefield. You should be able to play however you like and use whatever gear you like with the expectation that you'll at least stand a decent chance. I think DICE have really started to get that balance right, and I for one am really glad that they've made these changes. But anyway, that just about wraps it up, so let me know what you think about the SR338 now, and the recent patch changes in general in the comment section below. As always, if you like what you see, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you haven't already, please check out all my other Battlefield 4 videos. I've got them all linked in a playlist in the description below. But until next time, see you later, and have a good one.